This will be a quick look at this little power supply that came with my, let me focus on it, that came with my wireless Bluetooth headphones, and this is a for use with information technology. Anyway, whatever is the information technology equipment, apparently. It will give you up to 1 amp, hopefully, and it will work on any voltage. So let's try this out, but one thing, do not try this at home. What I will try now, just don't, not even at your own risk. Get yourself a proper adapter for this and so on. We will see if this will work at mine 230 volts whole socket, but only just for a moment, and how much current it will actually give. So welcome back at the 101 Bad Life Decisions channel. We will be testing this little power supply. I put the load of the soldering iron. It takes up to 1.2 amps, 1.3 sometimes, and we will see how much current will it give, and it comes out. Let's try it again. No, it won't be able to keep the keep the voltage, as I can see. Alright, let's drop this a bit and see if there are any other loads that should be more applicable for this. The soldering iron didn't even heat up really, so we will see with charging of this power bank. Okay, so this should take up to 1 amp, and we should see this. 400 milliamps, almost 500 power supply, so not really that good. I could try another power bank. I don't think it will go over 400. As you can see here, it already dropped the voltage. So because if I disconnect this this power bank, it should give it 5.2. So this is a very simple power supply. We should be able to see inside of this. One moment. So here is another power bank, and as you can see, the voltage drops to 4 volts. So that's not even enough to charge it properly. So I will take a look inside of this power supply. I found another power supply to check, and it seems it suffers exactly the same issues. We'll take a look inside both of them. These are both cheapo US chargers that were delivered to me from AliExpress. So let's take a look inside. So after having a closer look on both power supplies, well, this doesn't have as much clearance as I wish it would, because as you can see here, there are barely any space between those resistors and the capacitor. And as you know, if you simply touch the top of the capacitor of a running circuit, you will get zapped eventually. The other difference, they are basically the same circuit, a bit different transformers, but other than that, they are basically the same. They first have a diode and a capacitor and so on. Both capacitors are 400 watts. They are a bit different with their, no, exactly the same, 2.2 microfarad. So that's pretty good. This one doesn't have a feedback circuit, and they basically omitted this. Over here, this has a feedback circuit because of the 4 leads. 2 of them are the power supply, and the 2 of them is the feedback from this photodiode. and this is simply missing it, as you can see over here. But other than that, they almost exactly the same. So, well, each of them will basically cut out once you will load them too much. So, for example, with a soldering irons or resistive globes, more than something like an amp, they will withstand an amp and drop the voltage. An amp, something that would take normally an amp and will completely drop the voltage, as you saw on the power banks. They were able to keep something like 400 milliamps, but only for when they were anywhere between 4 and 4 point something 32 volts. So that's really bad. I think these are up to 200 milliamps power supply, so you can be safe in that range. Other than that, this has a better, just a bit better separation than this one, but I don't really like it that much. Let's see what else. I think that's basically it. If you overload them, they will simply cut out because the voltage drop would be too high and you will overheat the transformer. This will go much faster because it's a bit smaller, but I think both will eventually go. One thing that this one has going for it is the diode will simply go out if you connect to high power. To high load to it. And if you want to secure this one, just put some tape on both sides so it won't touch anywhere. The clearance is even smaller over here, so I don't really like it. I wouldn't use this for anything that you are for any proper charging. Just I don't know. This can be a charger just that you will use for example, an earpiece that you don't care too much about, because the current it will give and so on. It will be just like so. Not sure how they are performing under 100 volts of power supply, but I don't think that this would be much better than we already have in the Europe. I may have tried to put this into something in the future, but I don't think so, because they are not really that safe. Just go with a proper power supply. Power supplies like those will break your phone. They can cause some kinds of weird issues because of the not that great separation. And some trains and currents can go through that. So that's not really that good. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.